Hi folks, so today I'm harvesting 3 types of tuber in the middle of January, which we call our winter survival foods. We're in growing zone 9A here in the south of England, and the lowest temperature that we normally touch on in winter is -5, and this only normally happens occasionally. But this winter is turning out to be a bit of an exception. And as such, I don't think at least one of our crops today has done as well as it normally does. But I'll talk more about that as we go and we'll see how the harvest turns out. The first tuber I'm harvesting today is Oca. And Oca is my second favourite of the 3 survival crops. Oca, or New Zealand yam, is quite a dense potatoey texture with a slightly lemony flavour. And what I absolutely love about these is the colour. You'll see here I'm squeezing some of the pale tubers, and that's because the ones that were closer to the surface have been damaged by the unusually heavy frost that we've had this year. This tuber here is a really good size for both eating and for replanting. I'm replanting a few of the tubers as I harvest, which for us here makes them a replant perennial crop. And I'm making sure to snuggle the tubers down deep enough into our no-dig beds that the frost shouldn't get them. Some plants had done really well and didn't seem to be affected by the frost or rodents at all. But some plants had absolutely no tubers left under the ground. What I have noticed is that the pink variety has definitely grown a lot better for us than the yellow variety that I also had in. There is one other variety that I planted that's kind of a cross between the red and yellow, but I think I only put 1 or 2 tubers in of that one. So after replanting about 3 tubers into each space between the A-frames, this is our Oca harvest for the year. It's not our best harvest as we are still expanding our crop. So I did only plant this area up last year with quite small tubers. And we also grew climbing beans, broad beans and a few potatoes in this space. So what I noticed when harvesting is that this end of our Oca bed didn't perform as well as the other end of the bed. And I think that is because any mice or voles or other rodents that we have here probably use this hedge here as protection for moving around, and it means that they can just access this end of where all the tubers are in the ground a lot easier and probably feel safer, because there was very few tubers actually left in this first row at all. And particularly up this end of the bed I kept finding red shells of the Oca where something had chewed all of the insides out of them. So it is always a good reminder when you notice things like this about the importance of diversity, and that's not only just in the crops that you grow but also in how and where you plant those crops if possible. This bed alone just shows how the environment changed from one end of the bed to the other. And so yeah, it's a great reminder that where you can, dotting crops around in different safeguard the fact that you will then get harvest of whatever it is you've chosen to plant. So you might be wondering what all this bindweed looking stuff is here. And this is actually Mashua vines that had trailed beautifully all over this fence in the summer. You can see more on how the Oca and the Mashua looked growing here in this space just back in November if you check out our permaculture vegetable garden tour, which I'll put the link in here and also in the video description. This lesser herd of root crop originates from Peru and Bolivia in the Andes and is more commonly known as tuberous nasturtium. I'm finding some really good sized tubers in this patch here. And these tubers can be used raw or cooked. Raw, they taste quite spicy, a bit like radish, but cooked, the flavour changes massively and becomes a creamy, mild aniseedy flavour. Mainly we roast them or chop them up and put them into veggie soups. We never harvest anywhere near all the tubers we have, so they just regrow every year like a perennial. But they're always here in the depths of winter should we need them, and that's why they are a great survival crop. Our third and my favourite of our survival crops are Jersualem Artichokes, and these are my top survival crop for a few reasons. One, because I love the taste and the flavour of them, but mainly because you'd probably ever only have to plant Jersualem Artichokes once. Ideally in an area where you can just let them do their thing, and then you'll have an abundance of Jersualem Artichokes forever. I've got another video coming up soon where I'm going to be sharing a lot more about my love of Jersualem Artichokes, so stay tuned for that one if you'd like to hear more about this amazing prolific tuber. Jersualem Artichokes are actually related to sunflowers, and in late summer these now dry stems are a mass of miniature yellow sunflower heads all bouncing and swaying around in the breeze. It's beautiful. And my bonus survival crop today, which is one not to be without, is the good old potato. And I've been harvesting a few which have grown from volunteers where we used to grow potatoes in the Oca and Mashua bed. And they're coming out much like new potatoes in January. We have some potato beds that we fully harvest each year and replant in the spring, and some areas where we grow potatoes as replant perennials. Well folks, we really hope that you've enjoyed seeing some of the crops that we grow here that feed us through the winter months, and hopefully that's given you some new ideas of things that you might like to try this coming growing season. As always, if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up just down below, and also leave us comments because we do love hearing from you. Don't forget to stay tuned for our Jersualem Artichoke videos that will be coming up soon if you'd like to hear more about those. Have a great day guys. Thanks for watching. Peace and plants.